Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you today on a Tuesday as Boston braces for the remnants of this hurricane that has broken up and the remnants are racing up the eastern seacoast. I'm going to stick with my prediction that Boston will not get a single drop of rain. I don't think we're on the rain side of this storm. The rain side, I think, is going to be much further to the west. Could be wrong about that. We might get a few sprinkles here and there, but I don't think there'll be anything to get in the way of Walking the Bean, who legendarily hates the rain. Just hates the rain. She'll put up with pretty much anything else, but the rain just gets a flat-out refusal from her. And so far, she's very young, so far her refusals don't mean anything. I can honor them because she can hold her peace for 15 hours or more. But it could get very windy. We shall see about that. I'll of course, I love to talk about the weather, so I'll bring it up next time. But I've got 4 packages here, and 2 of them are boxes, and they appear all to be from publishers. No presents from anybody. So let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what this first one is. Okay. Despite my prediction about the weather, it never rains, but it pours. So we're going to move straight on to the next book. So we're going to deal with 3 books here, not 4. Let's just move straight on to the next book. Okay. All right, great. This is much better. Okay, no pub sheet for this thing. This is by Evelyn Lozada, and it is called The Wrong Mr. Darcy. Looks like a YA. It's got a basketball bouncing onto the cover. Let's see here. Hara Izari has big ambitions, and she won't be sidetracked by her mother's insistence that she settle down too soon. She dreams of leaving her job at a small-town newspaper to begin a career as a sports writer. Small-town newspaper is the best possible place to start such a career. Maybe she's already had that. When Hara is chosen to exclusively interview basketball superstar, she jumps at the chance. It's time to show the bigwigs what she's truly made of. At the same time, she meets Derek Darcy, a rookie on the rise. Derek is incredibly handsome, obnoxiously proud, and has a major chip on his shoulder. Okay. Right? If he's a professional basketball player on the rise, he might be all of those things, but he will also be just plutonium level stupid. There won't be any hint of what we would consider to be sentience anywhere about him. Hara can't think of a man any more arrogant and infuriating. However, fate keeps bringing them together, from locker rooms to elegant parties to the storm of the century. And what begins as a clash becomes more complicated than Hara anticipated. When she starts to see Derek in a new light, she is not quite sure if she should drop the ball or play the game of love. Okay, that pulled out of a tailspin. That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Okay, so this is a finished copy. This is going to be a finished copy from St. Martin's Griffin. This is going to be $17. It's going to look just like this. I don't have a pub sheet, so I don't know when it comes out, but I imagine this month. I imagine August, which is perfect for Summer Fling 2020. In case you somehow missed all of the announcement videos, me and a large group of other booktubers are conducting Summer Fling 2020 for the month of August, encouraging you to read more romances, or to at least try a couple of romances if you never do read them. And this is perfect for that. All romances that I get in the mail in August will be gleefully read in August, as in part for Summer Fling 2020. All right, so we have The Wrong Mr. Darcy. Now we'll do the smaller of the 2 boxes. Let's see what we have here. I just heard something. I heard someone shaking themselves awake. It could be that the bean is consenting to join us. She has been very sleepy and withdrawn all day. She is diffidently pulling at the cardboard of that box. She's been sleepy and withdrawn all day, which is another indication to me that the air pressure, the barometric pressure is changing, that a storm is coming. She's really, really perceptive about such things in a way that I've had very few dogs that were this perceptive. Like, for instance, on meteorologically unsettled days, I'll be on the couch or on the bed and I'll be writing and I'll be burbling to her once in a while whenever she happens to be nearby or whenever she's awake. And then suddenly she will start to get antsy. She'll start to give to do her usual behaviors when she wants to go outside. I am keyed to listen to those behaviors because, as I've mentioned in many videos, it's the only freedom I deny her. She doesn't get to come and go as she pleases. So if she wants to go outside, even if it's a minor whim, out we go, in any weather, at any time. My answer to that with my dogs is yes, absolutely yes. And sometimes she'll do that. I mean, she has a routine like the rest of us. Sometimes she'll do that and I don't know why. Maybe it'll be right after we just came in, or maybe it'll be earlier than she would ordinarily fuss around. And every single time in the last 4 years, every single time that we have gone out because of that, we have no sooner got inside than the sky opened up and it started pouring. I think she has a really sharp sense of that sort of thing. I've learned to listen to it, and I can tell by her behavior. See, we've got fresh cardboard on the floor, but she has already lost interest. She's already listless. Look at that. Look at that corner, huh? Clean as a whistle, with a shelf there at the bottom that's empty. I still haven't filled it. Like bookworms everywhere, I am paralyzed by my sudden freedom. I've got a whole shelf that's empty in this room. What do I do? But anyway, let's see what we have here. Oh, wow. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Didn't know this was coming. Okay, so what have we got here? Good Lord, look at all this paperwork. Am I, it's an interview with the author. I don't need all this paperwork. I don't need much of this paperwork. I learned my lesson yesterday, though. I'm not going to throw away stuff until I know whether or not I need it. Okay, Advance Praise from Jonathan Latham, from Joyce Carol Oates, from Sebastian Barry, from Helen DeWitt, and the author biography. I don't need any of that. I do need this, though. All right, what a cute little thing. All right, this is scheduled for early September. This is 3 Rings, A Tale of Exile, Narrative, and Fate by Daniel Mendelsohn. A very pretty book. This is not, it looks like a die-cut cover. It looks like there's 2 layers. Maybe the words are printed on the cover, and then this is laid over it, but it's not. It's just part of the cover. A tiny little thing. What have we got here? In this astounding Borgesian document of clarity and brilliance, so says Sebastian Barry, internationally best-selling memoirist and critic Daniel Mendelsohn pushes against the boundaries of genre to explore the mystery that connects the randomness of the lives we lead and the deliberate artfulness of the stories we tell. In a combination of memoir, biography, history, and literary criticism that recalls Mendelssohn's earlier work but raises his distinctive technique to new heights. Okay, the pub sheet writer is earning their supper. 3 Rings tells the story of 3 great writers from 3 different centuries who responded to political persecution and personal crisis by turning to the classics of the past to create masterpieces for their own times on themes of exile, narrative, history, and fate. Can't wait to see who the 3 writers are. Bet I know who one of them is. Erich Auerbach, the German Jewish philologist who fled Hitler and was forced to write his classic study of Western literature, Mimesis, in Istanbul. Francois Fenelon, the 17th century French archbishop whose sequel to the Odyssey, The Adventures of Telemachus, a veiled critique of Louis XIV, and the best-selling book in Europe for 100 years, got him banished by the Sun King and the late 20th... Okay. That's fantastic. So we're going to learn about the Adventures of Telemachus in this book. That is fantastic. I wonder when this author first encountered that book. And the third of the authors is W.G. Sebald, self-exiled to England, whose novels are marked by Odyssean themes of wandering, displacement, nostalgia, and yearning for home. I wonder where this book came from. In each section, these writers' wrenching life stories are woven into the larger tapestry of the history of oppression of writers and scholars throughout European history, and gradually intertwined with the story of the author's own struggles to write 2 books which themselves replicate these themes of oppression and scholarly wanderings. His 2006 family saga about the Holocaust, The Lost, and his 2017 memoir, An Odyssey, about retracing the epic through the Mediterranean with his elderly father. Okay, fantastic. All right, this sounds unabashedly personal, but also not. Also a series of mini biographies. If there's any author alive today who can pull this off, it's this author. So it's early September, but it's also 100 pages, so I might just read it tonight. I might just read it tonight. There's a chance, though, that the bigger box is also going to get on the TBR for tonight. It could be that all of these are. I mean, the Wrong Mr. Darcy is almost certainly coming up soon, and is also 100 pages long, so there's no reason why I can't read both of these. But this final box it has weight to it. It could be a finished copy, and it's from W.W. Norton, my favorite non-Penguin publisher. So this could be straight on the list as well. Let's see what we have here. What do we have here? I have a marginally interested baby bean. Do you want some cardboard? Oh, you want some cardboard? You do. There you go. Oh, fantastic! Oh, great. All right. Well, this does not go on the TBR because I've already read this rather closely. This is great, though. Absolutely fantastic. A strong recommend. This is by Eric J. Dolan. That is our author right there. And this is Furious Sky, a 500-year history of America's hurricanes. Appropriately enough. This is just incredible. Actually, this finished copy will have all sorts of stuff in it that I didn't see. You've got color photos, color paintings. There are paintings here because the author delves into history. It exhumes a lot of great storms that typically don't make it into... wow, look at that. When Hurricane Andrew came knocking, the staff at Miami Metro Zoo, now Zoo Miami, herded a bunch of Caribbean flamingos into one of the men's bathrooms to shelter them from the storm. There they all are. In a men's bathroom, sheltered because it's stone. Oh, isn't that great? And there is the author. There is Eric J. Dolan in 1991, standing at Falmouth, Massachusetts, in the wreckage of Hurricane Bob, when our author was a super hottie. And I loved this book. Just thought it was fantastic. I'll be reviewing it for the Christian Science Monitor in due time. But it was just amazing. Meteorological natural history of the finest order. So a strong recommend. But it doesn't go on the TBR. Whereas I think both of these others do, The Wrong Mr. Darcy and Three Rings. I think both of these probably go on the reading list. If not for tonight, then for this afternoon. I mean, I'm gonna read. I'm making videos, you know, because we're booktubers. We make videos. I'm making videos, and I have 3 deadlines to hit today. I've hit one already. Hit one first thing this morning. That leaves 2 that I have to hit today. One is there's hardly any work left to do on it, and the other is a slalom of a subject, a downhill slalom of a subject, where the problem won't be generating the piece. It will be stopping myself at my word count. So I don't think those deadlines are any big deal. I don't think they'll amount to more than an hour's writing total. I've mentioned on this channel before, I'm a fast writer. I'm not necessarily a fast cogitator or a fast organizer, but I do all of that in my head. I don't do any of that on the page. So the actual writing is very fast, and the organizing, the thinking, the cogitating, and the organizing, since I do it mentally, I can do it anywhere. So I can do it pretty much all the time. So really all I have to do, I know this sounds terrible, especially for those of you who work or have kids to take care of, or school, or crushing deadlines of other kinds, I really don't have anything to do except read. So I will probably read these 2 books tonight, this afternoon, tonight, something like that. I'd like to get 2 or 3 or 4 books done before tomorrow. So these 2, I have no reason not to make them one of them. So that's what I'll do. So that is your mail for today. One book that I get to recommend, that's fantastic. Then The Wrong Mr. Darcy, which it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. And then The Three Rings. I can't recommend Three Rings. Haven't read it yet. Didn't know it was coming out, but I can most strongly recommend this author. Daniel Mendelsohn is terrific as a writer. So there you go. 2 recommends and a half. So I'm gonna wrap this up for now. That is the mail and a discard. And that's it. We'll see what we get tomorrow, when all the weather forecasts that I look at, and certainly my own weather forecasts, it looks to me like tomorrow is going to be dry and clear and lovely, because this storm is not going to linger. I don't think this storm is going to linger. I think it's going to blast right through here. Some original projections this morning were saying that this storm would blast through Boston, the greater Boston area, up into Vermont, blast straight into Vermont. Vermont is not going to get just the wind side of the storm. It's going to get the whole thing. But that it would be over very quickly. That's one thing that everybody's commenting about this storm, is that it's a fast mover. So with any luck, it'll be gone, and there won't be any lingering rain tomorrow morning. So tomorrow will be a bright sunny day. So we might get more mail. I will convene then, and we will see. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.